Check the feed. Alright, cool. Okay, that should fix it. Is it fixed? How's my voice? No, it's not fixed. Wait, hold on. Let's check. That's strange. Check. Oh, that's why. I think. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is fixed. Play the music again real quick. Yeah, I think that's fixed. Cool, okay, we're good. Turn this here music off. All right, I got my second monitor again, but where is my chat? View. Let's see here. Usually just pops up. YouTube, here's the chat. Okay. Wrong screen. Yeah. Okie dokie, I think we are good. All right, hopefully, music's off? Yeah. All right, so hopefully we can finish the drag and drop functionality. It's really not too hard. We've got the DSP part up. Yeah, so, wait, why? Okay, well, whatever. I can't see how many people there are, so, but I can see the chat. Okay, so we basically just need to make a component that's going to hold our plugin editors, and then we're going to need a way to select which one we want. And I'm going to do that with a combo box to start. We can think of a better UI later, but let's get started here with, let's see, inside of GUI, let's make another folder, directory, and then I'll say, probably say like views. And then we'll make a class called editor rack. And we don't want that nonsense. Progma once is good enough. Okay, and that's going to go in the editor. So this is going to be views, and I already forgot what I called it. Editor rack. Okay, cool. So this is going to be a juice component. It will have a constructor. It will have a destructor, I guess. And we need our paint function. In fact, I'm just going to scoop these up right here. Private, and I'm not really sure what we're going to have in it yet, so we're just going to start with this. Let's get a namespace going too. That's good enough. Okie dokie. Take this, go into the CPP, and just implement everything. All right, yes. And then that. Then we need the destructor. Okay, then we need paint and resized. Well, why does it say int? That's weird. Oh, maybe, let's see. It might just be complaining that we need to reload. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it a lot. Okay, that did not get rid of that little error. Let's see, I'm sure. Thanks for the sub. Glad to have you. It's probably just, yeah, I think I just need to include let's see, juice GUI basics probably. That should take care. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. To start, Zoe's chasing a fly, so that's cool. To start, we're gonna, I guess we're just gonna give it like a outline so that we could see it. Sure, we'll give it a wheat. All right. Draw rect, real simple. Get local bounds. It's gonna draw a white line across the component. So we just need to go into our editor, and we need to make one. Editor rack. Just call it rack, and then I don't think we really need a method to initialize it. It's only going to have two things probably. Could be wrong. Whatever. Add and make visible. Okay. And we need to put it somewhere. It definitely needs to take up at least the entire width. So what I think I'll do, let's make these not const so I can reset them. And then I will take them. pass everything to them, X, Y, width, and height. So we definitely need the width to be the full width, so we can just do this. The Y, we're going to have a header. So let's say the header is like, I don't know, 10% of the height. So let's do that. X is 0. And then height is, maybe it'll take up the rest of it, maybe not. Let's make it take up 80% of it. So let's do this. That way we also have a space at the bottom that we can put some kind of footer information in if we want. So let's see if that looks good. Oh, let's see. Audio processor editor. Editor rack. And what is it saying? Where's my, oh. Has private oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just dumb. All right. Like that. Oh, we got, let's see, did I forget to, yeah, I didn't do resized. So of course we got a linker because we defined it but didn't implement it. That ought to be good. All right, there we go. That's pretty much what I was thinking. And I'm thinking that what we'll do, the easiest thing is going to be, we have our base editor that every new module is going to inherit from. So let's make a vector of those. And that way we can actually push new ones and delete them and stuff. So this is going to be, let's see, via tour GUI. Do I have an editors one? I forgot. Let's see. We need a base editor, which is, okay, yeah, it is editors. I guess we just need to include it. This is gonna be go out one, go into editors, and go to base editor. Now we should be able to see editors. Or not. Viator GUI editors. Is it just being slow? Base editor, there it is. Okay. And we're just going to call this editors. And what we'll do is basically we just in resize, we're just going to give it a bounds. And then we're going to loop through the editors and place them. Okay. I'm going to do a regular for loop because I'm not sure if we're going to need the index or not. So I'm going to say I less than m editors dot size. And then we're just going to place them. So we're going to take, let's see, I guess we're going to put 4. We want to be able to see at least 4 at a time. So let's do that. Set bounds, X, Y, width, and height. And then after we place each one, we need to move the X over. So it's going to be X plus equals width. That should do it. We want X, I guess, to start at 0. Y as well. Width is going to be get width 0.25, I guess. And then the height's going to take up the entire height, I think. I'm going to leave these round to ends here, even though we don't need them, like for this one, because we might change it later. And I don't feel like copying and pasting it again. So, yep, those are the editors. So we can go into base editor and we can, let's do something in Paint so that we can see it. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Let's do this in the actual editors instead of the base editor. What? Of course, that's the Stream Deck trying to log me into Twitch. Okay, so we have our 2 test ones here. So here's reduction editor. So let's go into here and say g.fill all. And I don't know, maybe we'll make it. Also, why is it not auto-completing? We'll make this blue or something. And we'll take the other one and we'll make it, I don't know, maybe red or whatever, just to make it look different. Okay, there it goes. We also want to put some text here, I guess. So let's do set color. Colors. We'll make it, I guess black is good for the text. And g.set. No, is it draw text? Yeah, something quick and easy. Yeah, okay. Okay, X, Y, width, height. And then, what is it, justification? Justification, centered. Okay, let's take that. Go into amplification. Oh, this one's amplification, which means this one needs to be reduction. Okay, so now we've got 2 editors. All right, so what are we going to do with these? To start, to test that they get placed there, let's just work in editor rack. So what we'll do is we will call our add processor and add editor. So let me look at my notes here. What we need to do is go here. Okay. We might not be able to do a really quick. Well, actually, yeah, okay, so we need to just implement a couple of the basic functions. So, yeah, so let's do, we need like an add processor function. So, I guess this can be private. So here's add editor, and we just need to make sure that we get the actual processor thing. So what is processors? Nope. What's it called? Processors, utils. This is what we made in the last stream. Okay, processor type. All right, good. So like that. Okay. I guess we need to include it. So, okay, so here we go. DSP maybe. Okay. Processors, processor utils. That ought to do it. Okay. And that should disappear. Okay, processor type, add editor. Okay, very good. Let's go implement it. Add also one thing definitely. I want to make sure that the names are all follow our style. So let's do it like that. Okay, add editor. And what is add editor going to do? I mean, all it's basically going to do is push a new editor to the editor's vector, and then it's going to call resize so that it gets placed there. Is it going to do anything else? Does it need to call anything in the audio processor? Yeah, it does. So, all right, so we got to pass in the processor as a reference. So let's go here. We'll do yeah, we'll have to do this. We'll do class and what's our main one called again? It's audio plugin processor. Okay. So if you ever wanted to figure out how to add the processor as a reference to another component, you create a class and just end it there instead of doing include, so that you don't have a circular include. Then you go into the CPP, and there you add the actual include. So that will be plugin processor. Okay. And then now you can take that, create a reference member. I'll just say processor. And then copy that into the constructor. And then go into there. And we got to do that. So the constructor, give it a name. And then we need to add that processor to our member. So there we go. Processor P. Okay, that should be good. And then as you might be able to guess, we need to pass the processor to the rack thing. So we just go into the constructor of our main editor and we go to m rack, and we give it that reference to the processor, and that should be good. We shouldn't crash. Come on, just a quick build. Okay, didn't crash. Very good. Okay. So now we can actually go into our editor and we can put our code. Okie dokie. All right, so we need to take our processor and we need to say add processor type, because we want the processor to be done before we put the GUI. Okay, we need to get the amount of processors. So do I have a way to do that? Let's see. I will just put in int here and say get num processors. That will return m processors dot size. Easy. So add processor. We're gonna do const int index is equal to processor dot get num processors. And then we'll subtract 1 from that. Yeah, okay. So we need to check if the processor is valid. Oh yeah, here's the pattern for that. So auto pointer processor is equal to dynamic cast, and we just cast it to the pointer version, which is the processor that we get. So this is going to be, oh wait, let me rename this. That's about to get annoying. I hope that doesn't, you know what, I'm going to cancel it and just do it manually since there's only 2. Processor ref. And then we'll say oh wait, no, we don't need to cast this one. We'll just do processor ref dot get processor index. Yes, okay. And then okay, so we've got our processor. So we need to do kind of the same thing for the editor. Well, actually, yeah, let's do that. Okay. And where's this editor coming from? Oh yeah, in our processor utils, we have a method called create editor for processor. So create editor for processor, and we give it the processor, which is that one. Okay. And let's also do that in the if statement. I forgot. It's not how I have it in my notes, but I think it's easier. If auto editor create editor. Wait, what? What doesn't it like? Type auto is incomplete initializer of type std make unique. Is it because we need to do .get? Wait, no. Processor, yeah, processor's a pointer, so we need to dereference it? No. Why am I getting that error here? Auto. Oh, no, yeah, not a pointer. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, and then if the editor is good, we're going to say m-editors dot, I guess pushback is good enough. And then we just move the editor. And actually, our editors are a unique pointer. Let's see what the actual error is. But didn't I do that in my example? Yeah. Unique pointer? Okay. So what's your problem? Also, why isn't it giving me my error? Let's just see whenever I build. Oh, thanks. It's not going to be too difficult of a session. Because I've already done this. I'm just kind of looking at my notes so I can show you all. Oh, processor I've declared here. Process. Oh. Is that really why? Oh, yeah, because, yeah. I forgot to change that one. And because it was an incomplete type, we can't push back the editor, right? Or is that completely unrelated? Because the editor is based on this processor, right? Let's see. This is strange. This is exactly how I have it. Ah. Does it make a difference? It shouldn't. What about in place back? Does that make a difference? No. I feel like that shouldn't matter, but processor I. Let me look again at the build error. Or maybe it really is just let's see. Let's do that, and then this should be the same thing, but yeah, that doesn't make a difference. Let me see what the error is again. Matching member function for call to push back, but why? No known conversion from audio processor editor to audio processor editor pointer. Okay, so why is that a problem in this project and not the other? So what if I just no? No. Change out of local variable editor to unique pointer. Oh, okay, I see. So maybe I will go back and let's do this. Maybe auto was just choosing the wrong one. Okay, so yep. And let's see, it doesn't like this. No viable conversion from. Oh, okay, so apparently our. Well, I guess we could just let's see, does the juice one work? Processor editor. And then okay, that still doesn't fix it. I think let's go back to this. Actually, I'm gonna go all the way back to where it was all confined in the same if statement. I think this is what's going on. So I think that we need to change the signature for this. So if we go and check it out, this returns a unique pointer to a Juice audio processor editor. And we probably need to do the base editor. So and then we need to do create editor, probably needs to also change to this. Bruh, this has got to, I hate that. I need to go, you know what? I'm just going to turn off the Stream Deck. I can't stand that. It literally doing it again while I'm trying to close it. I gotta go figure out why it does that. GUI editors base editor. But then we have a problem with this. Does that fix these? Okay, so we just gotta figure out how to do this. Make unique processors. I guess we could do base editor here. And then that might mean, oh, that didn't fix it. Candidate construct not viable cannot convert initialized argument to processor definition. Oh, there's two of them. Okay, hopefully that fixed it. Okay, how are we looking on this side over here? Still not working? Or is it just not caught up yet? Okay, there it goes. All right. Okay, so let's, in the constructor, add editor, and we'll say, what are we going to say? This is Tor DSP processors, processor type. Let's do amplification and the other one. Okay. Okay. We also need to say add and make visible the editor. So the last one we just put back, editors.back, right? And do we need to call resized? I feel like we should, but I don't do it here. Oh yeah, I do it. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Let's see if it blows up or if it works. Oh, processor utils. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it crashes. Ah, okay, so we're getting to a JS, or let's see. Amplification. Okay, so we've got, what is this doing? To string. Who calls this? What is this even really for? Create editor. Let's see. I might just be passing the wrong things. So let's see. What's def type name right now? Let's see. Reduction. Okay. reduction. So are we not getting that from our processor? Let's see. Reduction should be. Okay. Okay, what happens? Where's my debugging window? What happens if we continue? So, create editor for processor. Okay, apparently we're just not getting through. Okay. All right, let me see. If we go into these utils, reduction, amplification. I'm just gonna get rid of these jassert falses for now. Because maybe it's not unexpected to reach that. I don't know. Let's see what happens. If they don't actually show up, then we know that something's actually wrong. Oh, we still crash? Let's see. Is there another jassert false we're getting to? To string def type processor.get name. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's go about this. Let's see if we reach this at all. Yeah, we did. So wait, if we're returning, oh wait, no, we're not getting there. We're getting to the end. Okay, so yeah, we're not reaching there. Okay, so processor.get name. Let's do this. Processor.get name. All right. Name. Amplification. Okay. And we got def type. Let's see. Name. Oh. Where's it at? It's gotta be def.name. To string. Oh, well, no. Okay. So to string. Let's go check our to string and make sure that's doing what we think it's doing. And I guess, let's see. Live debugging, probably honestly, it's probably the best teaching tool, even though I'm kind of annoyed that it's not just working. Let's see if we get to that name here. Amplification, okay. So then, wait. To string, we didn't get there. Shouldn't we have gotten here first? No, toString is right there. Okay, so it's the next instruction. Okay, here we go. Name is now reduction. Okay, so if we go one more time, let's do this. Oh, look, return def.name, which is reduction. Okay, and then name now is amplification. We go here and we get name reduction again. And then it doesn't match up. So did I just, let's see, name is the second one, right? Yep, so reduction for reduction, reduction. Amplification, 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 amplification. Amplification, reduction. So what's going on? I guess I could look at the code and see if it's any different. Okay, so let's check these out. toString. Okay, so const auto def is get registry. If def top type is equal to type, we return the name. And we do this. Okay. And let's see, create, what's the other one? Processor by type. Const auto def. Type is equal to type. Return bait processor. And static cast it to. This probably doesn't matter, but I'm going to do a static cast. Actually, yeah. Let's do that. Even though yeah. And then def create processor index release. And then create editor for processor. We loop through the registry. We say if toString def type is equal to get name. Return def.create editor for that processor. Okay, that should be fine. Let's see, do we call any of these other functions? I'm not sure. That's all of them? Okay, let's see. Let's see if any of those other ones get called. So we call create processor by type. Okay. We call create processor by type twice. Okay. Editor for processor. Editor for processor. toString. toString. Editor for processor. toString. String. Okay, and then we. Okay, so it's either in that one or this one. Okay. So, and this one. So we can ignore the two gray ones for now. Okay, so reduction, amplification. One thing I'm wondering, I think also, don't I need to return the actual editor we want, right? Is that going to break what we did earlier? Yeah, it is. Amplification and reduction. That could be part of it. So what did I do here? I'm assuming we need to cast to base editor somewhere. Because why is this not working? Hmm. This probably is the issue. Do we need to use the base editor in any of these? I don't think we do. I'm just going to use the base editor for some shared functionality. Yeah, and I think if we ever need to go into base editor, we can just cast into it. So I'm going to, let's go back here. Let's do that. Okay. And then that's going to be, let's see, also here. And does that change anything in the rack? I doubt it. Oh, it does this. So, so this is going to be regular juice audio processor editors, I guess. Okay. Let's see if that makes a difference. I'm not exactly sure why it would, but if it does, we might be able to figure out why. Okay, so we still have the same issue probably. But at least it's set up the way the other project was set up. So let's see. Is it the same exact issue? Yeah, so okay, so right now I know we deleted this, but let's get this back. And then let's also do this. It's gotta be def. All right, let's put this in the loop. And let's do this and make sure that it lines up each time. So right now, name is reduction, type is reduction. Okay, type is amplification, and text is reduction. Okay, so where is that getting? Processor.getName is amplification. Okay. Go back here. The name is reduction, but the type is amplification. Okay, so the name comes from what? Def.type? Def.name. So am I just missing reduction, 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 amp, 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 amp. So where is it? Where is it getting turned around? Because it goes from. Wait, I'm not doing a base processor, right? Um, no. Okay, so that's good. Where are the names getting turned around? Because I know for a fact we already looked. Amplification is amplification, and reduction is reduction. Now, what about base processor? Are these even inheriting from it? They are. Okay, just as a test, I'm going to put this to the juice one. What's it called? Audio processor. I don't think that will change anything in the class functionality. But let's do that. How hard is it to learn C++ coming from C# and Java? I actually learned C# first. I was doing Unity stuff, and then I learned C++. I mean, the thing is, I don't think if you're already like a strong coder, I don't think it's hard. But if you kind of only barely know C# and Java, or like you're a beginner, it might be hard. But I'm sure um, you might be already using those languages professionally, so I don't think it's that bad. I mean, C++ isn't. You can write normal looking C++ that isn't hard to understand. So yeah. And I also don't feel like it's hard, but I don't know if that's because it's not hard or if it's because I've been doing this for almost 7 years now. It's hard to tell. Base processor. This is audio processor. So I was wrong. There is another place for each one. Okay. Okay. Error on the juice namespace for some reason. Let's see if that just goes away. Oh wait, no. It would be reduction processor, right? No, what am I doing? I'm stupid. This should be. Do we even need it? Um. Yeah, we do need it, but isn't it just this? Oh, I put a semicolon. All right, let's see. If this fixes our issue, I think I know why. It does not fix our issue. So, all right, let's see. Is it the same exact issue? Yeah. Okay. So I'm confused. Okay. So right now, the type is reduction, and the name is reduction. Okay. Right now, the type is amplification, and the name is reduction. I don't know how that's possible, but let's see. I mean, this screams the name is set wrong in one of them, but there's only the one place. There's here, so amplification, and then there's reduction, okay. And then there's uh let's see what happens if I just put one. So let's do the amplification one maybe. I've been working with OOP stuff like encapsulation, sequence inheritance, polymorphism for about 2 years, mostly on bigger projects and business logic. I think you're gonna probably be just fine with C++. I want to get into C++ because I eventually want to build my own game engines. Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna want to do that in C++. That's for sure. Okay, so that didn't change. So I'm wondering, what if okay, add editor. Okay, so the problem comes from this create editor for processor, right? Yeah, so that's good, and then it crashes. Okay, so this is only being called once, right? Yeah, we just did that. I only called it once. So why does it seem like let's see, where is this one? Wait, who actually calls to string? Oh, create editor for processor. Okay. This is where our issue is. Let's see. What I can do in Java. You made small SQL like language, but I want C++ so I can control memory with destructors instead of relying on the GC. Yeah. Um. To be honest with you, I'm surprised that Unity can even get like decent game performance out of C sharp. So I think that's a pretty big win for them. But yeah, I mean like Unreal is in C++. I'm sure that Bethesda's engine, like the Frostbite engine, and the other one are in C++. So yeah. All right. So what do we got here? Name is amplification. Def name is reduction. I just don't get it. All these things line up. Processor, notification processor. Well, let's do it again. How many times does it run? Like, I wouldn't expect it to be wrong ever. So, oh, this, okay, we're calling base processor. Is that what I do in the original one? And create processor by type? I don't think I use a base processor. Create processor by type. Oh, I guess I do. base processor, static cast base processor. Okay. Let me go back and do the inheritance and stuff. Okay. This definitely isn't going to fix it, but I want to put it back to what is, I guess, technically right. Okay. So, actually, does that change anything in... Let's see. Base processor, right processor by type. I mean... So dots, or colons, whatever, they could be multiple things. They could be namespaces inside of namespaces. They could be anything inside of a class. So yeah, like you would call a static method from a static class, or a static method from a class with the colons, and then so therefore that enums and namespaces. What was I about to do? Oh, let's run it again and see how many. Oh, another thing. I think another thing we could try is going back to where we're testing add editor and just put it, try the other one and see if it doesn't have an issue. Okay, so it runs once and then it crashes. Okay, so let's go back here, and instead of this, we'll do the reduction one. And we'll see what happens. Okay, it worked. So there's something wrong with just the amplification one? Wait, add editor. Git processor. Hold up. Am I accidentally also processes.clear? Okay, so we don't have any test ones. Okay, so editor, create editor for processor. What's wrong with this? Always equals K reduction. Is that because I'm only putting in K reduction? If I put that in, do we also... Yeah, okay. So what could be wrong with amplification? So base processor, amplification processor, get name, and we're overriding it and we're saying amplification. Amplification. Okay, it's not misspelled. Amplification. It's not misspelled. Amplification. Okay, so why? Wait, did I do the correct includes and stuff? Okay, yeah, amplification editor. Reduction. Okay, so, and is that what it's actually returning? The amplification editor, yes. Okay. And then we're saying amplification. I gotta tell you, this doesn't make sense to me. I've got to be missing something simple. It always is. Create processor by type. So we do call, let's see, editor rack. Let's put this back in. And we know that we're going to call add processor. So, oh, and add processors. Yeah, that's not even a, that's not in the processor utils stuff. That's in the main processor. So, yeah, I use enums all the time. I actually started using enums in place of bools for a while. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't do it. All right, so what am I missing here? Production amplification. I mean, this is the only place the issue would be. So, all right, so processor by type, create editor for processor. So let's keep this here, and then we'll go back, get rid of the other. Yeah, okay. And then we'll go here. Got it back in. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can follow it backwards in the stack. Okay, so right now, name is amplification. Def name is reduction. So name is processor. Where's processor come from? Create editor for processor. Processor.get name. Is that the same signature? Let's see. I'm looking for create editor for processor. Yeah, okay, so to string, def, processor, get name, def, create editor, processor. How are these wrong? So who's it coming from? Editor. Create editor for processor. Processor is amplification processor. Okay. And when amplification processor type, oh, type is reduction right now for some reason. The name is amplification was right. It's the type that's wrong. How are we passing in the wrong type? Def.type is here, processor type. My brother in Christ, the names are right there. It's fine. The processor is going to hold the process block stuff for that module. So what we're doing is the Juice plugin architecture has two classes. You got the processor and the editor. What I'm doing is subclassing the processors, and those will be basically full plugins inside of themselves, almost. And I got no idea why this isn't working, because it works in my example project that I made that I didn't release. So the problem, go back up here. Somehow type is wrong. So when we go here, This def.type is reduction when it's supposed to be amplification. I don't know how though. Is this just a... Okay, wait, we're calling it twice, right? So put the rack. Let's call the reduction one first. And we'll see it work correctly. So let's run that once. Okay, so the first time we add an editor and processor, the name is reduction like it's supposed to be, and the type is reduction like it's supposed to be. So they match, it's going to create it. Then we do it one more time for the other add call. Right now, name is reduction again, which is incorrect. Oh, and it says type is reduction. A bunch of concrete classes and input processor, abstract class that directs some abstract classes, a manager processor that holds the current processor subtype. Yes, and it's almost like a little factory pattern, kind of. And every time I do this and I debug and I start talking aloud, I lose my place. So what are we doing first? It's reduction, then amplification. Okay. So when we get to amplification, is it correct at all? So here's the first one. This is the first add editor call. Okay. And right now, type is reduction. Okay. But that's in here. So where are we at? Def, type, reduction, and reduction. All right. So here we go. Def, type, reduction again for some reason, and reduction. Okay, so it added what? It added 2 correctly, but add editor. Okay, we got type. Add type. Is the processor adding the correct type? Let's see. Let's go to our add processor here. Let's see. Yes, let's do that. Type is reduction. Do it one more time. Type is amplification. Okay. But it somehow says reduction for the name. Am I getting into a race, like a threading issue? Because yeah, I think, was this just not happening in the other part? So what I'm thinking is, right here we do processor add processor, and then that does what it does, and then this runs. We need to wait for that to be finished. So I don't know if that's actually what it is. But let's do something simple to see. Let's see, let's do bool m adding processor false. I'm actually just gonna make it public. And we're gonna say, actually, let's make it atomic just to be sure. Okay, so what we'll do, adding processor right here. We'll lock it, then we'll do store true, and then at the end we will store false. And this isn't like great design or anything, but I think it will tell us if that's what our problem is. We'll do while processor ref dot m adding processor dot load. So while this is true, we just, wait. Okay. All right, so I don't know. Let's see if that fixes it. It's still doing it twice. So maybe that's not the issue. Do I still have my breakpoints? Let's see. Which one was it? This one, I guess. Let's see. So that didn't make an issue, or that didn't make a difference. Def. Well, maybe I shouldn't use def. Let's use the name one, which is reduction. Type is reduction. Then we'll say the name is reduction again, but the type is also reduction somehow. Bro, this is driving me crazy. Let's see. What happens if I do 2 amplifications? Yeah, it crashes. Okay, it doesn't do either one of them correctly. But why? What's different about add editor type? Always equals okay. Add processor. Let me see if let's see if this. I would expect index to be 0 when we add one. So we say add processor. We wait until it's actually done. Let's see if we get index is equal to 0. Because if it equals -1, then something's out of sync. Index is 0, as expected. And if, let's see. Oh. Okay. Something looked weird for a second. Hold on. rerun the debug. So right here on the, if the processor is valid, we hit continue and it goes back. That could be, hold up, let's see. Did I do it any differently? Let's see. Remove editor, add editor. Okay, so what I did was if auto processor get processor for current index, and the index is right there. And then we do auto editor. I mean, does this make a difference? I doubt it. Auto editor is that, and then if editor. Okay. I don't think this would make a difference. So we need, what's wrong? Oh, that, and then that shouldn't make a difference. That shouldn't be it. Let's see, we're doing amplification. Okay, so is that gonna be any different? No, okay. Let's do this. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll do this, and then let's also go into the processor and make sure that we don't reach that other GUI code until this is done. Cool. Juice is great. A great framework for GUI apps. It's really easy. If you want to try that out instead of or whenever you start doing the C++. I'm not sure about Rust. I don't know frameworks for Rust. Okay. Okay, yeah, look, we waited and now we're here. So what, like, what could possibly be wrong? Let's create another type. No, I mean that, well, hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna, let's see, I'm gonna comb over that class real quick and make sure that there's no significant differences. Okay, so we've got processors, processor type. The definition is the same: type, name, category, std function, unique pointer, create processor, and create editor. Okay. Yep. Those are both inline consts, or inline consts and static consts. That shouldn't be a problem. For Rust, I just see the primary encoding it, and sometimes I'll figure it out. It'd be cool if I learned it. Yeah, it would be cool. I did learn the syntax of Rust, but then I didn't really know any of the frameworks or libraries, and I just kind of stopped because it's too much juice to do. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. To string. Const auto. Yeah. If def.type return def.name. Okay. Processor from type string. Same thing, but who calls it? Create processor.type. Same thing. Create editor for processor. Same thing. I do have some debug statements in here. Let's see if they'll help me out right here. Create editor for processor. Okay, so right here. Looking up editor. Checking registry name. Match found. If not, no match found. Oh, but I do have some extra stuff in here. I do have this fallback right here. I'm not really sure if that'll make a difference, but we'll do this. We'll say the fallback will be the reduction. Let's see. Different signature. The reduction processor, and then this is GUI editors, and this will be reduction editor. Okay. No match found. So let's see. Yes. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it didn't work. No match found, falling back, or asserting. Okay. So it... Why didn't it... Wait, why didn't this run? The return reduction editor. I don't think we need that anymore. Or that. Or that. Or that. Okay, so to string. Okay. Wait, why is it not? Oh, because I'd have to do yeah, okay. Yeah. If let's see, if auto, okay, it's processors. Okay, we'd have to do this if we want this fallback to work, I think. If that doesn't fix our like very short-term issue, so resize somewhere, maybe you need to check it out. Some resize somewhere. I just saw some resize somewhere. You mean in this project? Okay, look. The fallback worked. So hold up. Let's see. We gotta. Where's the? Oh wait, where am I looking? Not messages. Where's the output? Right here. No match found. Okay, let's do this. For a beginner, I would try hack audio Eric Tarr. This is a great book. Yeah, don't worry about that. Where's the actual book? Where's it at? So this book basically, I think, goes through his. He's a professor at I forget which university, but I think this is a book that he made for his like introduction to DSP class. And what he does is he goes through all the basic effects and the basic digital audio stuff too, like gain, decibels, lufs, like all that stuff too. But so he'll go through like distortion and compression and filters, and he gives you examples in code. It's in MATLAB, but you should be able to understand what it's doing. And it's really simple examples. Like I don't think any of his examples are longer than like 20 lines, so it's really easy to follow, and that's how I started. I want to try something here. What if I was gonna say, what if I make another type, but I'd have to make a whole new processor and editor. I'm thinking that, man, this is so confusing. Let's make another processor and editor real quick. If we make another one and it works, then we'll know that it's a really it's an issue with where they're set up and defined or whatever. So let's do I don't know. Test processor. Okay, so we'll go into this test processor and we just need to call it test processor. Okay, then we'll go into this, and here this will be, we don't have this yet, but this will be test editor test. We need to take amplification processor and replace it with test processor. Yep, test processor, test editor, and then we need to make sure that this is test editor. Okay, and we need to go make those editors. Class test editor. Okay, this we're going to take a reduction editor. This is going to be the test processor and test editor. We need the test processor, which is that and that. So let's take this here. Same thing. Production editor needs to be test editor. And this needs to be test processor. One thing I don't want to forget, audio processor editor. Don't know why that's a problem yet, but I don't want to forget to do this test. This is because test processor. What am I doing wrong? Test processor. Let me see if just needs a reload. Test editor, test editor, test processor. Don't these have, oh no, reduction processor right there. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Editors, test editor, test processor, test processor. What's wrong with this? Test editor, test editor. Test editor, test editor. Are you guys seeing something I'm not seeing? The namespace editors. Hold up, let's see. Test processor, base processor, test processor. Then we've got test editor. Oh, also test. What's wrong? No matching constructor for initialization of audio processor editor. Cast expression to audio processor editor. What? Editor. Editor. Test editor, test editor. What's the problem? Test processor and test processor. I don't know what's wrong. Let's see. Oh, because this is probably supposed to be test processor. Okay. Is that what it was? Yeah, okay. So test, and I also changed the name over there. So let's see. Let's go into plugin rack and we'll add reduction, and then we don't have it yet, but this will be test. Let's see. Test. Okie dokie. This is going to be this. This is going to be test. 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 And we need to add it to the includes as well. Which is processor includes test processor and editor includes test editor. So utils, we got our test type, we've got amplification, we got test. Does this? Yep, okay. And then if we go back to the rack, we're putting in a reduction and a test, which should work. Okay, let's see what happens. Nope. Oh, wait. Looking up error for processor name. Something's not right. It's not seeing. I think we go in here and call it test, right? Yeah, test. But we didn't get the crash. It's almost ChatGPT time. Production. Test. Alright. ChatGPT time. I'm angry. Let's see. Let's see. What's our basic create editor for check my mic? Check. Let's see. Check. Oh. I don't hear anything. Check. Okay. I do hear something. It sounds fine to me. Is there a lot of experience in that? More voice? Oh yeah, because I was probably just opening ChatGPT. Is it fine now? Let me, maybe I'll just, close wave. Check. Let me know if that's better or not. Let's see. Is it good now? Cool. Let's see if ChatGPT comes up with anything. Is this really what the problem is? To string. I don't see how this is different. It wants me. Hold on. For const auto def in registry, if def dot type is equal to type that, how is that different? And then get processor type for processor. I don't think we're actually using that. Get processor type processor. Create processor by type returns inside the loop as well. Current. This is fine logically, except the JS or false is dead code, but not critical. Create editor for processor broken because the string was broken. Busy wait spin lock burning CPU. Yeah, sure. There ain't no way that's what the problem was. Let's see. Yeah. It also, hold up. Okay, that part of the registry looks the same. Reduction amplification test to string looks the same. Processor type from string. Create editor for processor. What's different about this? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to paste this in here. We'll see if it does anything. No errors. Okay. If this works, which I doubt, because it doesn't look any different unless I didn't read carefully enough. If it does work, we can see what the difference was. Yeah, it's still, no, it's still doing it. I'll copy the entire file that he put. Copy, okay. All right. What? Okay. Yeah, it's still not fixed. I don't think it did anything. I'm not going to waste time prompting him over and over again. This is kind of what I thought the issue might be. They're all so base processor, what does it return for a name? Base processor. Now, each of these inherits from base processor, but they override get name. So it shouldn't be that. But let me just paste an example and see if it sees something I'm not seeing. thinking longer for a better answer. Yeah, that's the lie of the century. What could be returning? What if we just do test? What? Okay, so it works when I just do test. What if I do the same thing, but I change the order? Okay, test, test. Okay. So it's only ever creating the first one that you give it. Create process. Wait, create processor by type is this one, and this is the suggestion. I don't see how that's different. No, it's still just doing two of them. It could also be that trying to test this not in the full context and functionality is doing something. But no, because the plugin works. If I open up the plugin, like the original one I wrote, it works from it being empty and then you can add things. So, but the weird thing is it going to fail if I do an amplification or is it going to work all of a sudden? Because remember, the amplification one wasn't working. Hmm. Oh, it is working. Okay, so it's got to be um okay, so what if I don't understand what's different. Let me take mine. Where'd it go? I'm going to copy paste just those helper function things. And so that would be these. Might have to change a couple names, but let's see. We'll return something like that. Then we'll do, this is going to be, okay, no match found. So we're going to say DSP processors. This is going to be the reduction processor, and then the same thing for the editors. Reduction editor. Okay. Let's run that. Okay, amplification, let's go. Editor rack. Let's also do a test one. Test. Okay. Why is this happening in just this project and not mine? So, I guess one thing could be here's another thing we could try. I'll implement the logic that builds the editors at startup based on the processor, and I'll just show you. So here, where's it at? I call it rebuild editors, and then we'll go into the processor and just add to up front instead of here with the what's it called? I don't even know what I was saying. Instead of adding it in the constructor of the GUI, add it in the constructor of the audio processor and see if that makes a difference. What am I looking for? Rack. Okay, not plug-in rack. That's what it was called in the other project. This is editor rack. Okay, not editors. It's im editors, and we don't have a test button. That's fine. This is processor ref DSP processors, create editor for processor, and we're not going to have this stuff. Okay, editor. Find find parent. Is this a method that I created? No, it isn't. Where do I get that from? Plugin editor. That's got to be a declaration at the top, right? Yeah. I don't think we really need this anyway, so just to start. So there's that. We got rebuild editor, so let's call it. This is what we were gonna have whenever we need to recall the saved state. So let's do that, and then let's go into the processor, and we are gonna in place back. And I already kind of forgot. Are we doing unique pointers when we call add processor? No, we just give it a type. Okay. So we're gonna do Viator DSP processors. We'll do amplification processor. Oh no, sorry. It's gonna be processor type. K amplification or reduction is fine. So let's do a reduction, and actually, I'm just gonna call the method. We're gonna do add processor like this. And then we'll do the test one maybe. Okay, if this works, then maybe the issue is that there's some logic that it expects to have set up or something. No, it only did one. So reduction and I think maybe if we go into here, rebuild editors, rebuild children, processors, push back. Maybe we do need this. I'm thinking we just need that, and then we'll include the editor, and then we'll do that. Well, we shouldn't need to because we're in it. Let's see, do I need to include something for that? Can't I just do this? Can't I just do git parent and do a resized? Match found for reduction, but we're still having some stupid issue. Oh, apparently it doesn't want to do that. Okay, whatever. Let's also see if this is running twice, like we would expect, because we put 2 in the processor. Okay, there's 1. It only ran once. Num processors. Let's see if we're getting num processors is 2. Num processors is 1. And I think that might be because get num processors.size. Okay. add processor, reduction, and test. Add processor. I'm gonna take this out for now. Okay. Let's also check to see if this runs twice. And actually also let's do it right here too, just in case. Maybe index is missing another type. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Okay, so we should see the add processor run twice. Okay, so there we go. Index is 0. Okay. And then we go and put 1 in. Good. Index is 2. Then we go put 1 in. Okay. And then we go here and num processors is 1. Get num processors. How is that happening? Isn't this supposed to be... add processor? Type in index. Okay. If processor. Okay. What is going on? Let's also do... Let's also check that, just to be sure. Let's see here. Okay, so num is 1, and then it's 1. Okay, now it's 2. Num processors is 1. Get num processors. Let's see. Did I do something stupid right here? Get num processors. No, I mean, it's just... Get num processors. Processors without size. Is this some kind of issue with... I wonder, there's a place that I have like index -1 somewhere in here. Yeah, this. Getting them. Oh. Okay, but that's an ad editor. We're not even doing that anymore. So. Hmm. Oh, where is the vector getting smaller? I guess we could do this. We could do this real quick to see if this makes a difference. And we will just go put that here. And then I guess we'll do this. After, well, actually, I guess after this, well, we already kind of do that. Okay. I mean, I don't know why that would make a difference, but let's go here and see if this makes a difference. Still one. What if we just do that and see what happens? Okay, so GNOME processors plus I have 3, right? And that +1 didn't fix it. Okay, and then if I do +2, it's gonna do reduction, test, and reduction. Yeah, okay, so this is so weird. Okay, so it's gotta be, okay, it's gotta be this. Okay, so I'm thinking that whenever move is called, the index doesn't increment. Well, no, because in my project it's the same way. So let's get rid of this. And we'll go back to what it was. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so it's kind of dumb, but I'm gonna do this real quick. I say it's dumb, but this is peak debugging. Put messages. Go to all of the spots that you think it couldn't possibly. What am I trying to say? Let me type this real quick first. Think about every path or every piece of code you have that you just assume is correct, and actually verify and make sure it's correct. So, at the very least, let's make sure that by the end of the constructor, we have 3 processors. Yes, we had 3. Okay, so let's also put that debug message in the process block to make sure that it stays 3. And I guess we don't need this. Okay. Yeah, known processors is 3. So parameter changed just has well, like the basic parameter change, like the actual juice one doesn't have anything in it, and the only thing I'm doing is calling update parameters on the old processing things that we had, not the updated ones. So processors dot size. Okay, so we know that at the end of the last add processor, processors dot size is correct. So and we know the constructor finishes, the processor constructor finishes before this is ever called, and we can verify that real quick. Yes. Yes. Now it says 3. Oh yeah, because I okay. Um okay. our processor ref is the correct one. Audio plugin, audio processor. Is that what it's called? Audio plugin, audio processor. Yes. Okay. And processor ref. Okay. So are we passing the correct processor? Yeah. Processor ref. I could also well, swap processor isn't called and remove processor is not called. So I don't get it. What if let's do this. Let's try okay, let me just do this is dumb, but it's just to see. We're gonna make a timer and see if we're gonna poll to see if we can get the correct size. So timer callback, and then we'll say start timer hertz. We don't need it doesn't need to be fast. Just do 5 times a second or whatever. And stop timer. And then in there we're gonna do this. What is this? Okay. Because it could just be if this is correct, then I think it's just a timing issue of syncing the editor to the processor, which for some reason isn't happening in my other project. Yeah. So it's some kind of timing issue. Um let's do it 1 time per second. And then let's okay. Okay. Oh wait. I gotta we still have this, right? Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, hold up. Okay, so it's not okay. So where's the disconnect? What if we do this instead? Um, do that and then go here and do git processors dot size. Okay, so it's some kind of reference issue. When I okay, so somehow, I don't know how, but calling mprocessors.size was not actually giving us mprocessors. I don't know how that's possible. Let's get rid of that and let's just do that for the other things. Oh wait, did I accidentally just no, it's good. Okay, so we'll take this and do that and then do that. Okay. So we don't need the timer anymore. That would be a good YouTube short, me just make sure it's actually fixed. Oh, yeah, stop timer. I forgot. Where's it at? Right there. There we go. It works. Makes me so mad. All right, so instead of rebuild editors, let's do these two. Okay, reduction. See if that works. That's what it was. So let me look at mine and see if there was a difference. No, I mean I did int get num processors. I did make it const, but I don't think that should matter. Unless I'm stupid, maybe it does matter. Let's try that. Const. Let's see, grab that. Okay, go in here. Oh. Okay, num processors and num processors. We're about so when I instead of using int get num processors, I just passed a reference to the vector and then got the size and it worked. So I'm gonna see if I can go back the other way. That was really confusing. I'm going to see what this does, and then I'll explain yay or nay. No. Okay, that didn't fix it. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go back to the way we had it. Okay. So this is what we originally had, getting on processors and returning the processor size. For some reason, if I instead return a reference to the vector of processors and then call get size myself in the GUI, for some reason you get the right value. I've got no idea why. Okay, what else do we have to do? Let me see how involved the drag and drop part is. It's not really a lot. We do need all of the mouse methods, so like mouse down. Yeah, we actually do. We need all of them. Okay, I'll just paste them in and then just explain it. And then that'll probably be good. So here's our mouse downs. Or our mouse methods, I mean. So utilizing mouse down, mouse drag, and mouse up to do the drag and drop stuff. So I also need to get the definitions for each of those, which is just this. So those, okay. And then we're still going to be missing a couple things. Let's see. That, we need, so we need to know what we're dragging whenever we drag an editor. So I have a pointer to an editor that's just set to null by default. I'll put it under the mouse methods. So we'll know what we're dragging. Okay. And I also did a bunch of math to like to check where the mouse is, if it's like over half at least, so that we don't accidentally drag and drop when we don't really need to. So we need this drag offset from top left. Let's see here. Which is just a point. And then obviously instead of editors, we have M editors. And then, oh yeah, original index to know if we've already called this or not. Okay. And then editors again, where we at M editors. This is processor ref swap processors. Okay. Okay. Is that all we need? Let's see if it is. So let's see if we can do this. No. Oh, because we need to add the mouse listener. So we need to add editor. Yep. We need to do this. Editor. Add mouse listener. This. So add mouse listener takes in the listener and if it wants all the children to also have it. So let's go into drag and let's see if we can hit this. I can't even think anymore. Breakpoint to see if we actually drag. Yep. Okay. So maybe it'll work. So let's see. Let's run it. Yep. Look at that. So what happens is you can grab it anywhere and it'll check to see where the mouse is. And when the mouse crosses over the halfway point of another module, it will call swap, which is really easy. In the plugin processor, all you do is call std swap on your vector or whatever it is, and you just tell it which one's to swap, and it's easy, A and B. So let's see. Let me go here real quick and let me see if there's anything else. So this stuff, this will prevent the drag and drop from happening when your mouse is over a slider, because if you're trying to control a slider, you're going to be clicking and dragging, so we don't want that. Then we tell it what we're dragging. We're going to set this dragging editor to the one that we're on top of. Easy. Then we drag, and this is all the math I do to check to see if we're over halfway, and if we are, we call swap processors, and then we call resize to update the GUI. Okay, and then mouse up. Yeah, this is just to clean it up. So when mouse up is called, set everything back to default, and then also call resize just in case. So that's not really a lot. It's not too difficult. So now we have the bulk of the functionality. So if you just take a look real quick, all we'll do now is in each of these editors and processors, we're just going to put our actual GUI code and DSP code, and that's going to be not a problem at all. Then the only other thing you have to think about is that in this style of plugin, like the Slate Virtual Mix Rack or the PSP one or any of that stuff, you can't actually add automatable parameters after the program starts. So, like for example, inside of our amplification processor, we're going to eventually have our create layout where you add the parameters and stuff. So we're still going to do that, but the DAW can only read the parameters for automation if they're created at start. So since we're adding them dynamically after the program runs or whatever, we can't actually add those parameters. So what we have to do is create some kind of macro control where we have like a macro mapping system, and those are parameters, and give them, I don't know, like 10 of them. 10 should be enough, and then you can map those sliders and controls to those macros, and that's not too big of an issue. You just use a map, and you add and subtract to the map, or add and remove from the map, and yeah, it's easy. Cool. So I think what we'll do is we will next time. Change these amplification and reduction processors to something we're actually going to use. So maybe a distortion and an EQ, something that we can have to just kind of test around. Put those in there, make sure they work. We need to get our saving and recalling of the modules up. And then we'll add in the macro stuff. And after that, it'll just be adding more modules and, preset browser. We're gonna need to add the option for oversampling and stuff to each of those. So yeah, I mean, I guess the bulk of the architecture is there pretty much. So okay, yeah, I think it's in a good place. All right, cool. So that's what we'll start doing next time, on Wednesday, same time, 7 o'clock CST. So cool. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. If you're not in the Discord, you can go to the description of this video and the link will be in it. Join the Discord. You can talk to me. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on next.